Okay, there we go. Hello. Okay, much better. Had to try this one more time. I was trying to get the link to my um, Abyss, Terror of the Abyss webpage to share it, and I can't do that apparently. Um, I had the tablet out, and it was not really doing that for me. Um, anyway, so I wanted to just chat a little bit about um, what I've been doing. I've had like a little bit of a long stretch where I wasn't able to work. I went on vacation, and then my mother was visiting, and I also got sick. So it was like this whole month of July that was pretty crazy. And yeah, it was just, there was no time. There was no time. Hold on a second. Um, hmm. Let's see. How do I do this one? Okay. Still getting the hang of this, guys. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Posting it here. Mm. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so I was, the whole month of July has been quite crazy. Um, and let's see. Anyway, I haven't been able to finish up this suit of um, swords for the Abyss Tarot. I was like concepting and sketching and doing all sorts of stuff, but I didn't get a chance to kind of flesh it out fully. I was able to work a little bit at the beginning. I think I did take stuff with me on vacation. Um, and I was able to do the 10, yeah, the 10 of swords, do two versions for the 10 of swords. And so I kind of stopped at that point because, there was just no time. In any case, I decided to work on the, drawing blank now, court cards. And the suit of swords is one of my favorite suits, but what happened was, it's like when I got to the court cards, I kind of like drew a blank. I was like blocked, totally blocked. I was like, I know what I want to do, but it was not like flowing right. So I did like a little bit of an exploration, and I ended up with this concept of having, because right now the way I'm flushing things out for the court cards is I did the same thing for um, the suit of cups, and I incorporated all the court cards within a scene of like there's like a ship, and they're all doing something on the ship. The page is doing something, the knight, the queen, and the king, they're all within this kind of category, right? They're each working with the element of water. So I wanted to do the same thing for the Suit of Swords. And it was tricky because it's all about the mind, right? Emotions are easy to show, but the mind, it's how do you show an idea? How do you show the way your brain works and tapping into that? Sorry about the glare. My glasses have like this glare. I don't have the anti-glare thing on. So anyway, I decided to put them within a labyrinth format. So the quick cards are within the environment of a labyrinth because the mind is such a maze, right? So that's what's behind them, and so the page will be navigating the maze. Like the page is the first one that's actually starting to gain control of the maze, and then it's progressing to the knight, the queen, and the king. And I was able to finish the page, and I have been working on the knight, so I kind of sketched all of them out, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Oops, sorry, my phone just has like stuff coming through and I can't see my screen. There we go. So I'm gonna share a little bit of where I'm at with the court cards, and you know, it's a work in progress, and so I will, yeah, I'm trying to think how to flip my phone around as I'm doing this. It's not going to be a long session. I'm doing like a short drawing session. It's like 11:49 p.m. here, so I don't have a lot of time. I have to get up early tomorrow, but I figured, why not? So again, as you will see, like I'll pull this up, so I'll show it again, but this is the page. The page is within the environment of the labyrinth, the maze behind her, and there's a glare. Anyway, let's see. So I'll zoom in when I flip the phone around, but you get an idea. And so she has this like moment, and there's like the enlightenment kind of happening where the bright star is going to be present, and she's holding the sword. And it's also about the knowledge itself, the idea of the whole mental aspect of it. So I'm going to try and set up my phone here, and then because I'm recording it, I'm streaming it through the phone, and I have to flip the camera around so you guys can see what I'm doing on the page. So I'm going to do that. Let's see, how do I do this? Bear with me here for a moment. Let's see. Still here, still here. There we go. Okay, so that worked kind of. I'm not sure if I can zoom. Oh, look at that. I can actually zoom. Okay, so this is the page of swords from the Abyss Tarot. And right here, so, okay, so there's the book. So the maze is behind. And because the page is just entering this enlightenment state and is also fulfilling, it's starting the first of the court cards. She's on her knees, but there's also that aspect of there's an active element to it. Okay, so moving on. This is the knight. This is the knight, and the knight is obviously more active, and so the sword is kind of kind of coming towards you, and then the light from the page that was above the page is now within the grasp of the knight. The maze is still present, and so that's going to be the night. And also I'm doing this kind of starry night texture thing on the background, and I did it also for the page. You can kind of see there's the stars in the background, so I'm doing that, and then moving towards the queen. This is the queen. So the queen, again, now the light is on top of the sword, and I wanted her to be almost in this collected mental state because she's grasped all this information, right? So the maze is also present. And then this will be the king. The king, he will be standing above, and the maze behind him, but he's above everything, so he has top view of what's going on. And there's this, the light is behind, like above his head, like on top of it, almost like the crown chakra thing. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be working a little bit on the night, because I have some time tonight, and I'm going to do that. And then I'll move to the others probably some other time, but right now I'm at this stage. So I'm going to try, and let's see if I can get some background music going. Should have set this up before. This is a good one. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Now my son managed to play with my pens. I found that the tips, he pressed on it, so he ruined some of these with the tips. And as you can imagine, I'm not happy about that. And so I'm going to have a little talk with little Luke. Maybe it's a little too loud. Oh, I should mention that the video quality, you have to kind of select it. So if it looks blurry, there's an option where you see that little wheel where you can actually get it to the higher quality. So I'm sure most of you know that, but I figured I'd mention it. tend to do these impromptu little chat things, live streams, because I can't really hold to it's hard to hold to a schedule. In terms of saying that I'm going to be doing it, once a week on a particular day, it's kind of tough. So what I'm doing is trying to get this sky to kind of blend in, and incorporate that a little bit. Hold on, somebody's messaging me. So, I'm going to have this dark, and then kind of keep this light source here. But I need to get this in a little darker in the background. Let's see if I can zoom. Oh, there we go. It's a little better. So what I'm going to do with this, once I'm done with the suit of swords, I'm going to probably move to the wands. Wands tend to move a little faster for me than pentacles, I've noticed. So hopefully that will be the case. And then that's I still have the pentacles and the wands, and that's it, and I'm done. But I'm planning on doing a book, so that'll be interesting. Hi, Red Moon. I'm doing a little, it's just a spur of the moment, this chat thing here. So yeah, I still have to write the book, and that is probably going to take longer than drawing. I'm not a writer by trade, so and then probably I already know what I'm going to do with the box, but I have an idea, and that should not be that hard, but laying out the book is going to be, it's a big process laying out a book. It really is. It's probably as big as drawing a deck. Mostly because it's so tedious. It's not so much so once you write it, right, after you write it, you have to put it together and put it in a format. And that part is the tedious part, just having to flow in all that copy, and it takes, I mean, you just want to make sure that everything's right. So it takes quite a bit of time. But I could probably handle it in a year. So again, this is the Knight of Swords. And, you know, in terms of why I chose a woman for the Knight, you know, I just go with what I feel. I don't really plan, but it just felt right for this card. I'm not sure why. So, like for the suit of cups I had, the page was a young man, a child, I guess. Then you had the suit, then you had the knight. The knight was a male, and then the queen and the king. So there were actually 3 males in that. But here I have a female in the page. So I kind of go with what feels right at the time. Can't really tone down the scratching of the nib. It's just, it is what it is. Should have taped the page down. So now I'm starting to think of the suit of Wands and Pentacles, and I usually go in order. Like I'll start off with Ace and then move. It's pretty much what I've done, and mostly because then I'm going to end up skipping, you know, I'll do the cards that I love first, and then kind of wait till the end to do the ones that I'm, you know, less keen on. So that way, excuse me, if I go in order, I can't mess up. Well, I can, but not in a big way. Let's see. So in order to get the light source going here, I kind of have to have a darker background. So that's why for the suit, for the court cards, for the suit of swords, everything is kind of happening in the night. And this process here, what I'm doing right now is darkening everything out in the background. It takes a lot of time. It's just a really back and forth, tedious little process, which I don't mind because I kind of zone out when I do it. And it's just, it's my thing. So tonight, it's already past midnight. I've been working like in pieces. I have my kids at home because the kids are on vacation for the summer, so can't really work during the day, and so I'm like doing bits and pieces during the evening. But then tomorrow I have to wake up really early, so I'm not going to be able to do my usual length of time. I'll go for 2 hours easily working on a piece like this at a time, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I just wanted to give you guys a little glimpse, and I found it's much easier. I'm sure you guys already know, but it's actually much easier to do a live and then upload it than to record it and then upload it. If I record this and I upload it, it's going to take me forever. It's going to take like at least an hour to upload, and that's really annoying. So this way, it's much easier. Hi, Spitfire Cat. I'm working away here. I hope that my selection of music will not annoy anybody, but Spitfire Cat, I just decided to do a very impromptu little sketch, well, pen and ink thing going on here for this card. And I'm probably not going to finish it tonight. There's no way. I kind of got the backgrounds for all of the court cards going, but this whole thing is going to take me forever because I like to make things complicated. Thank you. It's the night. I should really put like a little label so you know people will see when they go back to watch the video that it's actually the Knight of Swords. So she has the maze behind her because it's all about the mind. You can take it also like if she has the light at her fingertips, she can illuminate the way through. So it's a way of kind of going through the court cards with the thought that each one brings you closer to the enlightenment, I guess would be. mental enlightenment. But you know, the court cards are one. They're the hardest ones, at least for some people to grasp, and I had some issues with them in the past too. Because I went from reading normal cards, like regular playing cards, to tarot, and then so the way that I read the regular playing cards was into like the Queen of Hearts was a particular type of individual, like hair color or eye color, and that's how I was taught. And so they each had the physical attributes of the Queen of Hearts, for instance. So some like the spades were green-eyed person and so forth. So when I moved, 20 years ago, when I started reading tarot, I had to shift that kind of and incorporate a different view, not just seeing them as individuals, but also different aspects that we as ourselves will embody when they pop up. So it was quite a little bit of a transition for me. So when I work on court cards, I try to bring as much information as I can. Bring some elements that would help read them better, I guess would be the way to look at it. This deck is based on the Rider-Waite system. So even though there is some variation, and I'm not using exact imagery that is typical with the Rider-Waite, it is based on that. So and this is when I would really want to use this pen, but because my son decided to play with it, ruin the tip, now I have to only work with the nib, which is fine, but alright. So for those of you that stopped by and didn't catch the beginning, you can see it in a rewind, but here I'll show you. So the suit of swords for the court cards, I'm doing the maze for each one of the court cards. So this one is the page. I'll zoom. There we go, page. And then High Red Moon. And then I just saw the chat. Again, it keeps popping in and out. I'm not sure why. So yeah, so this is the page. The maze is behind, and that's the knight. And then this will be the queen with the maze behind. They'll have this kind of starry night sky, and this is the king. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to actually finish them. I'd be finishing them much quicker if I had more time during the day, but that will happen in September. Let me zoom back up. I'm seriously liking the going live from the phone. It's much easier. I don't know. It just seems that way. I can actually position, because I was thinking of having something, you know, like if you had this split screen, and then I can switch, but I can't do that. You have to have like certain type of equipment, and there's no way. So I have to kind of go back and forth with my little iPhone. And I found a little system how I can kind of hook it above what I'm drawing, and that way you guys can see what I'm seeing. But yeah, this suit should have been finished much sooner, but because of everything that was happening in end of June, end of June and beginning of July, it was just like cuckoo crazy. But I have a good feeling, you know, once September hits, I'm going to be able to, you know, work on this more during the day, and I should be on a roll. Have a good idea of kind of how I'm gonna attack the suit of, oh, see, that's a good example of a bad thing happening, but I can fix that. So I'll show you guys how to fix things like that. You dab, and then you incorporate it into the background. I wish my kids were here actually to see this, because I've been telling them that anything that you draw can be modified and incorporated into something. And they never believe me, but if you panic, then it will not happen. But if you incorporate it, then it can work. And I don't really do a lot of photoshopping when it comes to the decks. Like, I will scan them and, you know, adjust certain types of, I'll adjust like the contrast or whatever, just to make sure that it comes out in print. But I don't really modify them like the drawings. I mean, I can, but I don't see the point, especially if I'm working by hand. So what I did was I had a little bit of a ink spill there, so I'm just incorporating the ink into her dress. If you guys are wondering if I'm like, what, I kind of go with the flow, so honestly I don't really know where the line will go once initially, like I have that outline, but in terms of like, you know, the lines and why I'm going this way, I kind of just, since the wind is kind of blowing this way, it feels right to have her dress kind of flow this way. So I'm going to switch to a pen, and let's see this one. maybe this one. Not an easy decision. Let's try this. I was waiting on decks to come in all week. My little Lenormand deck, I had it out of stock for a while, and well, since I was in and out, I wasn't really home that much. It was kind of made sense not to have it ordered and keep it in stock and not really be able to ship stuff. So now I got it in today, and I can actually put it together. Okay, let's see, what am I going to do here? Let's do a little bit of a, I'm going to shift it a little this way. Give a little bit of a design to her dress. I think I'm going to stop now because it's already, oh, what time is it? It's like 12:30. So I'm going to try and do, okay, hold on. Okay. I'm gonna call it a night, guys. I hope you enjoyed the little video. I'm gonna work on this probably during the week. Have, what's today? Today is Thursday already? Today's Thursday, yeah. So I'm going to finish this hopefully by tomorrow, tomorrow evening, and then start on the Queen, and hopefully by next week I'm going to be done with the Suit of Swords, and I can actually move forward to the next suit. And I love the Suit of Swords. I mean, it's my favorite suit, so I had fun working on it, and it made sense to incorporate those 2 extra cards for the 3 and the 10 of Swords. Just because a lot of people have issues with it, so I'm going to stop the music from here now. Oops. It's super hot here anyway. So I hope you guys have a good night, and thanks for joining me. And let me know if you have any questions about the deck. I'm more than happy to answer them. And also, don't forget to check out the Facebook group, the Abyss Tarot, because I put updates on there, and usually we'll post images and stuff from the deck. And yeah, bye. probably going to do a little, I was thinking of doing a little discussion on, you know, how to lay out your deck and stuff for those of you who are interested in making your own deck. I did a little video on how to actually work with the images and how to put them up, upload them on the site. But I was thinking of actually going through and, you know, showing you how to edit stuff on the program itself, if anybody's interested in that, like in Photoshop, how to tweak it and stuff. So that was the thought. Because I've noticed a lot of people kind of like, you know, you have the image, you have the idea, and you know, it's not that easy to plop it in and figure out what you want to do with it. So and edit the type and make sure that everything is okay, you know. So yeah, I mean, I know a lot, I've heard a lot of people that want to, you know, do their own deck, and I'm all for sharing information. You know, it's like, there's no, why kind of keep it all to yourself? The more decks, the merrier, right? So, that was one thought that I had. But anyway, thank you again. I hope you guys have a great night, and I will try and do another little video progress, maybe when I get to the Queen, and that way you will see the page in the night done, and then we'll do the Queen. Okay? Bye.